Pisces, thank you for dropping in with me. I'm really looking forward to giving you the download on what's in store for you during this particular lunar cycle we're moving through. It was kicked off with the full moon in Capricorn back on June 21st, and will lead up to the full moon also in Capricorn on the 21st as well in July. So it's a mirrored moon energy. We have Jupiter in Gemini that will be with us for a year during this cycle. Okay, we'll continue forward. So do look for the energy that comes in at this time to really come to a culmination point next year. It's interesting that this is coming in for you. It didn't come in for any of the other signs. And yet I feel like that's a statement that speaks for the collective, but there's something about you really holding this energy right now. And it was interesting. I got an initial download with you. And what I heard was, sometimes to earn the keys to the kingdom, you have to build castles in the sky. And there's a bit of a riddle around this energy. You got like Riddler energy coming in, trickster energy coming in. I do feel like something will come full circle. It's almost got the image of, I see somebody walking a labyrinth and they are just now entering to get to the center. You have to get to the center of a particular knot that was tied. And in order to understand how to untie the knot, you have to first find your way into the center of it and then retrace your steps. There's something about retracing your steps to untie a particular knot. It's multi-layered. It has many different meanings. It's coming in through Joker energy with a riddle, Father of Sky energy coming in for you. And there's something to resolve here. Very interesting. I like this kind of energy. It has a very dreamy quality. We know that Neptune came in with this full moon in a square. That can create a very sort of illusory kind of environment. I also picked up coyote medicine around you. And with that looping back around energy, it reminds me of that. Like the way coyote medicine loops you back around. It's like your former self teaching your future self lessons, which is kind of funny. Because usually we think of it the other way around, right? That down the road, when we're older, we're wiser, you know, that part of us could teach the youngin' in us a thing or two, right? But it's the opposite in this case. It's the opposite in this case. There's something that you, when you first started this journey, has to teach you, your future self, about untying a particular knot. You'll know what that means. You'll know what that means as you go on this journey. So I feel like you are entering an initiatory gateway, but your initiatory gateway is to the center of a particular knot. This is how it's coming through. I just saw the imagery of Celtic knotwork. Okay, so there might be something within the Celtic tradition that you want to explore, or if you want to go beyond Celtic tradition, Gaelic tradition, right, is coming in. Norse tradition as well. All right, there's something here, something about that labyrinth energy. I just saw like the Yggdrasil tree. So I think there's something there. Yes, we have sacrament of extreme unction. And I don't know why, but it is reminding me of that hanged man energy, only it's operating with you upright. It's coming from Father Sky. It's like you're upside down, but the sky is beneath you and above you at the same time. Makes me think of your element, makes me think of water, the reflective waters and what they reveal, what they show us. So mirror energy coming in very strongly for you. Also seeing something in the water. Maybe you recently like saw some kind of vision in the water when you were waterside somewhere. Some kind of illumination came in for you. I just got like moon dog energy. Maybe there was like a big like rainbow around the moon or something. the way the light was dancing on the water. You got some kind of download around that. It's like, look at that. Look at the way the energy is like pouring into the heart and rising up to the crown. It looks like a light bulb moment, right? It's something that lights up a certain pathway of illumination. The priestess path. I see that, you know, this is like simultaneously, as much as it's illuminating, there is a shadowy quality to it. It's like the merging of the two energies, the solar and the lunar. There's something here. There's something here. Okay. But it's about going into the center of you. Power center. Okay. Manipura chakra. Right there. It's your solar plexus. Solar plexus. Maybe you've even felt like some tension in your solar plexus recently. You might want to do some breath work around that. This might be a place that you want to start to explore first to help you untie a particular knot. Your solar plexus, Manipura chakra. It's interesting the way that's coming in. It'll give you some kind of connecting point. It'll be like this moment where you'll go, ah, I got it. Okay. Interesting energy as it's coming through for you, man. I do want to get an overarching theme card here. We're doing everything backwards with you today. There's this backwards kind of energy that you're holding right now. Backwards is forward for you right now. It helps you untie a particular knot. And sometimes to earn the keys to the kingdom, you have to build castles in the sky, right? And there we go. It's back on the bottom again. Yes, that's where the illumination comes. You know, normally Hangman and Tarot, the illumination comes in this position, right? This is where you get that awareness. But with you, it's like opposite. It's coming from above and it's illuminating what's below. It's clearing your channel too. It's clearing some energy that's kind of like, it's had you in a knot. That's what it reminds me of. Okay. And with this, we have epsilon modulation. So yes, look, like there's some kind of, it almost has spider energy to it. There's something that's ready to be created out of the heart center. But in order for this to happen, it has to like clear the channel. And in order for the heart to really be fed, to really activate the heart, to really bring it in and unify it in terms of whatever you're creating, you know, these castles in the sky, there is the need to also clear out the lower channels. So I do feel like once the lower channel's cleared, then it allows like the activation of the heart center that's kicking off some kind of creative cycle for you. It aligns you with the path of heart. I feel that, okay? Big spider energy around that. The webs of connectivity, the webs of creation, the web of creation, the cosmic web of creation, and untying a particular knot. Interesting. It even has like a labyrinth quality to it to get to the center, to get to the golden egg. You know what I'm saying? Goose medicine coming in with that. Goose medicine. This is a lesson hard earned. It might come with a goose egg with it. You know what I'm saying? It's like getting hit over the head. You know, there might be like a tower kind of quality to this, like a jarring that really clears the channel, provides like an instant illumination. But it's to bring you into a state of modulation. It's actually to balance out something. It requires that, you know, it requires that a little bit more, you know, to clear this channel, because there's something's like in a knot there. You might want to work with 963 degrees Hertz here. You may even want to mimic the tone you hear with your voice. Right? There's something about vibration of the vocal cords also helps. here, and will allow what's in the heart to continue to activate the upper channels here. Interesting. It almost looks like waves around that third eye jewel, okay? There's something about when you're at the water. Interesting the way that's coming in. And it depends too. It's a different quality. You know, what you grok from the water during the daytime and what you grok from the water at nightfall. And there might be something about that too that helps balance things out. It's like you're balancing the inner sides of you, the masculine, the feminine, to come into this place of union. So you can actually, like, I feel like, address a certain division, that's been put in place because of some knot. I don't know what this knot meant. You know, this, I almost said not medicine. Four of Swords. Yes, it's something that caused some kind of grief here. It's something that has to be released. There's a sword of truth around this. You know, it's the way the hands are there, you know, in prayer, but it's also like, it's kind of like, again, it's like drawing that energy down. Right over the solar plexus. Isn't that interesting? I never noticed that before. Right over the solar plexus, you know, it's like needing to draw the energy down into the solar plexus center here. That's wild. I think there's a need for rest. I think there's a need for release. There's also a need for complete allowing, is sort of what's coming through here. There's some truth here too. This sword can also cut through a particular knot. And with that, there is a horseshoe showing up in the sky. It kind of sort of looks like the Leo symbol a little bit. It also looks a bit like the South Node symbol here. So this could be a karmic knot. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a carryover conundrum from past life. All right, let's get some more details about this. The Pisces energy is definitely heading more into that Neptunian zone, right? That Neptunian zone. It's great for creativity. And that might be a real channel of power for you right now, too, to just sort of like really focus and harness your energy. It does have muse activation energy to it. And there might be some inspiration that's about to come in for you. But I feel like in order to really receive this, you have to address this issue of this knot. While you're getting to the center of it, look, there's some kind of alchemy happening here. Temperance, balancing things out. This is also Sagittarian energy. So you and Sagittarius share a ruler in Jupiter. And there's also the piece of Jupiter and Gemini. So there's some kind of deep communication happening here. This sort of actually going to restructure your philosophy of life. I feel like you're going through some psychological integration point here. There's also the opportunity to perhaps even reach into greater levels of expansion, awareness, right? And again, this interesting point here, you know, this is, again, drawing the energy down, you know, rooting it, but also having the focus turned upward. So there's this interesting energy about needing to change your focus directionally. Maybe you've been too locked in like a South Node focus. You need to turn your focus on the North Node, where you're going versus where you've been. And yet it's a bit of like a riddle, because in order to untie that particular knot that's sort of holding you in an old pattern, You could say it's an old manifestation loop too. I feel like there's some kind of like skipped record quality to what keeps manifesting in your life. And you're like, wait a minute, like this, just why is this keep kind of repeating, even with different approaches? And it's because there's something that needs to be tweaked on a different level. It's not on the level that you would usually think about. It's not like, oh, I need to take this action instead, or I need to shift this thing in my environment. No, it's something in the energetic pathway that's got things in a bit of this holding pattern that needs to be worked out here. You're actively involved in alchemizing this with this temperance energy. This is everything about balancing out. You had it with epsilon modulation. You have it here with temperance and the themes of the lunar and the solar, the masculine, the feminine. This is like balancing something out, bringing something into proper alignment. Okay. It does require release, rest, letting go. With that, we got the Queen of Swords coming in with the world here. Okay. So this is also about a truth, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This is also about closing out an old cycle, fixed sign energy. Aquarius coming in really strong here. We also have Leo energy. Interesting now, Leo introduced itself there in the sky. Okay, so you could be dealing with somebody that has strong Leo placement and a strong Aquarian placement. That's possible. We have Scorpio energy here, Taurus energy. Fixed sign cross. Fixed sign cross. You know, the crossroads. It's fixed. It's fixed because it's held in a knot. And you want to get to the other side of it. You want to open your road. In the center, you won't discover how you do that until you enter the labyrinth. You go to the center. It's about following the energetic pathway. That's deeply personal to you. Look at this, 9 of Cups in reverse. This is what's blocking a certain kind of fulfillment you seek, a certain kind of gratification you seek. It's why you keep ending up at this place where something reaches a sticking point or there is a block. Okay, you got to follow a particular energetic pathway and untie this knot and make castles in the sky. It'll earn you keys to the kingdom. Okay. I know, it'll make sense to you. I know it'll make sense to you. Look at that Chariot, okay? It's what gets things moving forward here. There is a riddle to solve. That's what the Sphinx presents, a riddle to solve. The road doesn't open until the riddle is solved, okay? And again, it's the balancing of the energies, the shadow, the light, right? And the letting go. There's no one holding reins here. So it's not resolved until you first come to center with this issue. Isn't this interesting? And right there, we got the symbol of Earth. Earth resting right over the heart center there, okay? Yeah, something needs to be grounded out here. Very interesting. Cancer energy, okay? I want to see what this is. Justice. The other side. Wow. Whoa, man. All right. Libra energy. South Node energy. That South Node energy came up too. It's amazing what this guy can tell you. Maybe you're used to reflecting into the water more. Maybe you need to start to reflect more in the sky and see what it has to show you. Very interesting. And you notice a lot of times when you're at the water and you're looking over the water, you can see, you know, that mirrored effect. You can see the sky reflected in the water. I used to love to look into the ocean and see that effect, you know, when it was really clear out and the waves are forming just so, you know, it makes a perfect reflective surface and it's just so beautiful. It looks like infinity. It looks like infinity. You could be dealing with an air sign. You could be dealing with another water sign, okay? But there's something here about, you know, H2O. There's even air within water, right? So it's interesting. You might be in a situation where you're looking at somebody on the opposite side of you. You think you're so different, or Ted says yes to this. You think that your perspectives are so different, or you may think that your perception of something is way more vast than the others, and actually they're mirrors for each other. Sky is mirrored in water, and both are absolutely essential for life. Without either, there can't be, you know, there can't be creation. So this is an interesting point here. It's interesting, and it is kind of coming in like that, okay? There's something that's being reflected here, but the reflection is different. It's different than how you're used to seeing it. It doesn't mean it doesn't have value, okay? Very interesting. Okay, I want to dive into this a little bit more. I think I want to look at the infinite tarot. Yeah, and there's temperance, you know, on the bottom there. So you got some heavy hitter energy here. There is some truth that is being recognized. There is a release. Okay, let's check this out here. Ooh, look at that. The light bulb energy. And coming into that earth energy, the earth over the heart, okay? Power. Look, it looks like a labyrinth. The power comes from untying a particular knot. Wow, that's pretty freaking cool, man. Okay, let's check it out. It's getting lit. It's getting lit. Very wild. Very wild. Ooh, now we got some interesting characters showing up in the sky. We still got almost like a coyote looking shape there, but now we got eagle behind it. Ooh, great spirit coming in. So do expect that you're really entering a realm of absurdity. Okay, I got that. It's got big sky dancer energy, like Dakini energy. You know, the Dakini realm operates more in the sky than it does on the earth. Okay, it's something about this being a wind walker energy to it. Okay, this is coming in. Interesting energy. I dig it. I love this kind of energy. Yeah. This might, you know, be something that not everybody like relates to. You know, sometimes the reads come out like this. The energy comes out as it wants to come out. Oh my gosh, Joker of Water. Look at the knot. Oh my. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I like it. It's definitely like time to dance with the Dakinis. I feel this energy. All right. I like this. This is cool. You know, it's like the Zen cone. It's the great riddle that has to be solved. It's like the headless goddess laughing, you know. A lot of people look at things like that and they don't ponder them more deeply. I think you're used to pondering things deeply in this way, but there's some way you haven't really fully pondered yet, and it's coming in. Look at this. Earth, trade. Okay. And there's something about this that also allows you to experience a certain support you may feel is lacking in your material reality right now. I mean, we saw the Nine of Cups in reverse. So the Nine of Cups is about feeling like I don't have what I need, you know, I don't have enough of what I need. I don't have enough material, you know, sustenance. Maybe I feel like I need more money, or I need to have, you know, a better home environment, or I want to have nicer things, or I just want to feel like I'm being supported in my earth walk. You know, I want to feel like I'm actually calling things into being, that I'm really rooting things into being. And there's something here. I like this, okay? I just heard fair trade. Fair trade. Hearts are there. Dollar signs there. Chicken there. Interesting. Offerings. You might want to make an offering. That might fix things for you a little bit. This might be a clue about that particular knot, okay? Especially if you feel like your abundance has been blocked. You might need to earth something, okay? It's coming in here. I also feel like there's some key that's coming in here for you that's going to help you experience more fruition in the material world, just experiencing more of your manifestations actually coming through instead of the energy feeling so blocked. There is a piece here, though, about a trade. It's got like tithing kind of energy. You know what it made me think of? It made me think of in the beginning of dropping into your energy. I was reflecting on the sky and I saw the image of like a cow, okay? And that made me think of the energy of docility. And it also made me think of tithing in the sense of how it's used in Ayurveda, and how it's used to correct certain imbalances in the chart, in the Vedic astrology chart. And if you have a negatively aspected, I forget what it's called, but it's the placement that symbolizes Shiva, okay? It can make things very challenging for you. And a bird just flew down from the north to the south. So this might be something that can provide a transformation of the energy that's in a holding pattern. So, you know, Shiva is destructive before Shiva is created. And if you have this negatively aspected in your Vedic chart, it can definitely cause a lot of challenges on the path. It can make it really harder to get forward materially. It can create kind of financial blockages and things of this nature. And one thing that can help is tithing, okay? Sometimes they'll tell you to correct this placement, you know, at particular times of year, you may want to donate a cow. I'm not telling you to go and donate a cow, okay? But what I am saying is that it's that idea of sort of giving something back that supports others, that balances out something that opens the road. It almost gives me vibes of like paying a particular toll to open a road and doing something that's purely for the sake of just benefiting everybody, benefiting the collective in some way. There's something here, feels tangible. Yeah, look at this, 7 of Sky, sharing. Wow. Oh, yes. Okay. There's something to be shared here. All right, let me go ahead and get some more details here. There's something to be shared here. Notice the rainbow energy coming in. Again, it sort of like mirrors that journey through the chakras, but it also makes me think of, you know, the rainbow is in the sky, and the rainbow is a symbol of promise. Yes. There's something about the sacredness of tears too, that sometimes our tears and letting the emotions flow can also open the road, that also can be an offering. Our tears are sacred. And with that, trickster medicine, you know, it's really interesting. So you need to open your road here. It's like you hopped on a timeline that's out of harmony with your Tao. That's what it feels like. You were due north, but it actually turned you south. That's what I got. You know, there's like some kind of like a directional reroute that's happening here for you. What do we got? Sky, tree. Yeah, this is, it's really, it's like, it's something related to the roots. Blackbird just flew from the west to the east, okay? It's something in the roots. You know, maybe go and spend some time with a tree. You need to make friends with a tree, special tree where you can go and really like connect your energy, merge your roots with the root of a tree. Pick one in particular, make it your power spot, and it will help. It will help greatly. It's also like a communication network, you know, it'll help you tap in. It'll help you tap in with your roots. All right, let's see. What do I want to pull out for you now? I want to bring in the Angel Tarot for you. Your read is interesting. Bottom of the deck, see? Fool in reverse. Yeah, it looks like the Hangman, you know? Look, it's the arrow. It mimics the arrow that came in there. Where is that with the trickster? Where did that go? Trickster medicine that came in. Oh, don't go. Now the trickster is going to go missing. Are you dealing with a Sagittarius? It's a bit of a trickster. Sagittarian energy did come in there with the temperance, okay? Maybe this trickster's caught up. Maybe they're caught up in a knot. It's possible. Maybe you're trying to form a rescue crew. I don't know. They could feel like you're the one who's not seeing things accurately. All right, there might be a little mirrored energy going on there. Remember that? You know? Interesting. Interesting. It's like there's something off in your directional route here. You thought you were going in the right direction. It had you heading south. Could be connected to a Sagittarius. All right? Possible. Here we go. Look at it. Look at that. It's even pointing in different directions. Look at that. Okay. This trickster energy here, it's pretty wild, okay? So I feel like you hopped on a timeline. You were ready to go due north, and you hopped on a timeline that actually headed you south. And see the mirrored energy, the white card with this is heading toward the black, you know, heading toward this black road, the dark road over the, you know, the light road. And also there's a center point, you know, this is where the knot is. Interesting. Interesting. The way that came through. Very interesting. Your key might also have something to do with that fixed sign cross. So that's Virgo. Virgo might be a key for you, I have to say. Virgo might be a key for you. That earth sign energy. Fire family, fire matter. Yep, look, water, earth, fire. You know, volcanoes, they rise out of the earth and they produce that magma. I mean, magma has that fire quality, but magma is still, it's at the earth's core. And when it rises and when it's released, it joins the ocean and it forms new topography. It forms new land. Interesting. Hawaii might speak strongly to some of you. There might be some kind of happiness you're trying to protect here. Some of you lost someone you love, or you lost some land, you lost a home, you lost something that was very special to you on the islands. This could be in connection to the fires that went down on Maui. Okay. I also feel like this is talking about Virgo might be a clue to create transformation in your situation. You might be a Virgo rising. That's your descendant sign. Sagittarius came in quite a bit, okay, and does seem connected to this sort of like being off a little bit. So Sagittarius's descendant sign is Gemini. Gemini might be a clue here, right? You might need to connect with a Gemini. They might have something of value to share with you that can help you with this knot, or maybe that's where you need to retrace your steps, is with this Gemini. There's some kind of medicine you need to retrieve here. Right, there's a key. It's very interesting how I wanted to keep on going in with that infinite tarot. That is that 8 energy there. Look at the 2 birds coming together. It looks like a crown there. The kingdom in the sky. Sometimes you have to make castles in the sky to get the keys to the kingdom. Look, there's that rainbow there too. 2 stars on the rise. Very interesting. Really interesting energy coming in here. All right, I just had to share that. Yeah, see, this hasn't been cut yet. I'm going to go ahead and look at it upside down, so that's when I noticed it. 2 of Swords. Aniel. Breaking the circle lifts opposing barriers, brings victory. There's something that's holding you in place here, that's preventing you from ending up on the timeline you're meant to be on. You hopped one somewhere, and it's what threw you off track. It's also what brought some kind of pain and a misfire in relation to the Stone of Destiny here. You know, the activation of your North Node. It's got you locked up in the South Node on this like loop, okay? Chasing your own tail. Let's get some guidance here for you, Pisces. What does Pisces need to know about this spirit? What does Pisces need to know, angels? Give some guidance. Give some musing energy coming in from the sky there to help light the way ahead for Pisces. Activate that light bulb moment. Help them get through this knot and find their way to the other side. Yeah. I keep seeing Celtic knot work here. I keep seeing Celtic knot work. So I don't know if there's like a key there. I got little fragments of kind of Norse energy coming into Odin energy coming in. Oh, Odin's a pretty intense initiatory gateway, man. That's a riddle in and of itself, okay? Loki vibes as well coming in. Riddler and the Joker, man. Odin and Loki on the scene. Odin and Loki walk into a bar. Yeah, I think it's going to get interesting, Pisces. Bottom of the deck energy. There's your energy. King of Cups here, okay? Looks like some attraction here. It says restitution, finds stolen objects, discovers the person responsible. Did you have some griffin that stole your treasure for a particular wizard? I don't know. It's possible. Let's see what happens here. What happens here for Pisces? What does Pisces need to know? Danielle. It's funny because Aniel came out, and here is Danielle. Danielle. Dan. Daniela. King of Wands, fire sign energy. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Spear of Blue energy here. Okay. Eloquence gives answers to those in doubt. So there might be something connected to a Sagittarius or a Leo here that's coming in as significant, right? It's really interesting. And with that, Knight of Pentacles, light of understanding, acquires the knowledge that cures illness. Earth. Whoo! You need to connect with some earth sign energy. They have some key here. They do. Look, Michael. Could be somebody named Michael. Got Archangel Michael on the scene though, okay? With the chariot coming in again. Cancerian energy. There's something about the oppositional. For the cross to come in the way it did, the fixed sign cross, it makes me think of all the other signs that are on that cross, okay? So Cancer, opposite side of Cancer, descendant sign is Capricorn. So there's something here that could be connected to a Capricorn as well that gets things moving forward. There could be a Cancer factoring into your situation. This came in a couple of times, right? There's some kind of conflict here. There's some kind of adversity here, and there's some kind of blockage here. There might even be, you know, a little bit of defensiveness. There could even be some shielding going on. Somebody could actively be practicing some kind of defensive magic. And sometimes defensive magic, I tried to tell people this before. People always like question me about it. I'm sorry, it's true. It's forming an energetic agreement. Defensive magic will get you stuck in a knot. It will get you in this like boomerang loop, and you'll keep thinking that somebody is doing something to you, but they're not. It's the defensive magic has to come back to you, especially if you're defending yourself from somebody that you think is doing something and they're actually not. It works like kind of like a jinxed effect. So some of you are dealing with a knot in that regard, okay? And it's what's blocking you from moving forward. You know, people will justify it. Oh, you know, it's justifiable. You know, I'm just protecting myself. Well, you may be misfiring. We see the aim is off with the way the arrows were lined up. You might be aiming in the wrong direction. That's why, you know, it's better just not to enter into energetic agreement. And instead step into that place of the temperance, you know, the master of the self-mastery, where you recognize this is a mirror. What I'm seeing here, it's reflecting something back to me about where I'm at in my inner world and kind of what I'm pulling in, also what I'm forming agreements with, rather than drawing a boundary and saying, yeah, I'm not really, we're going to let that, you know, particular manifestation pass me by. I'm not really into pulling that into my reality. You know, we get to choose what we pull in. We also get to choose what we release. And it's only when you enter into this kind of like dynamic of really forming energetic agreement. That's what it is. I know everybody's big on the return to center. You recognize that when you say return to center, you're sending it back to yourself. Because that's like you totally bypassing your role as creator. You create reality through your free will. And if you see something in your reality that you're not in agreement with, it's about you choosing not to be in energetic agreement with that. No, I don't want that in my reality. So I simply let go. I simply release. And I put my focus in a new direction. And now that's not my reality anymore. Everything changes. But instead, if you flip it and you're like, this person's doing this person's doing that, I got to control this variable here. And you put it outside of yourself, you quintessentially give your power away. And then, yeah, you jinx yourself. You say, return to center. Oh, you did it to yourself. You tied yourself into that knot. There's something here. Also, a Michael could be a clue. All right. Michelle, Michaela. All right. Mick, Mickey. All right. You're going to overcome this, though. You do need to be persistent. And there's some kind of deception here that's really like got its tentacles in a stronghold around you that does need to be released. And it's a bit of that trickster, devilish energy here that's had you caught up. But you might not really be recognizing the appropriate source for that. That's the way it's coming through, I have to say. Okay, any further guidance here? I do see success. I see you overcoming this. I do see you finding your way out of a particular knot. It's an energetic pathway. That's part of it. For some of you, I just got that it actually is a physical knot, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm going to bring it in. A knot in the hair. A knot in the hair. What's with that? It just fell on the ground. Ooh, whoa. Hierophant in reverse. Thrown away. Did some of you do like a working around hair? That's roots. The roots above. Ooh. Ha. Riddles. Did you do some kind of knot work? Look at that. All the fixed signs there. All the fixed signs again behind this angel. This is not for everybody. That's a really specific freaking message. If you did some kind of working, within like fairy tradition or within Gaelic tradition, Celtic tradition, Nordic, Norse tradition, if you did something that involved one of those lineages, or if you did something involving hair, tying in knots, this was out of harmony. Or it could be you're dealing with somebody who did something like this to you. You have to really feel out what side you're on. The answer is still the same. Because if somebody did this to you, okay, let's say, and you took this on energetically because you formed an energetic agreement with it, you're going to have to retrace the energetic pathway within you to pull that out at the root. Wow. There is some really interesting energy here, and something happened that was like a no, that should not have been done with the Hierophant in reverse. Earth sign energy may be the key. That's Taurus energy coming in with the Knight of Pentacles. You could be dealing with somebody that has strong earth and fire in their chart. They could have a strong Taurus placement in their chart. Oh, look at that. Ace of Pentacles right there. Yes, there's a big key here. There's something that preserves those castles in the sky, I have to say, protects them. Divine blessings, drives away evil spirits, rules agricultural production. So again, makes things grow, makes things produce, roots things in material reality. Somebody may have done a protection working. Yep. Somebody could have done protection binding. A lot of times people can fall into that and they think, well, it's for my protection though. So, I felt attacked or I don't feel safe. What you bind to you. People really need to understand this. This is why people shouldn't mess around with stuff, without working with others who are elders, others who know the ropes, others who can provide specific guidance. It's dangerous, kind of, some of the stuff we got going on just in terms of people working with different systems, especially working with any kind of specific, ancestral root systems of work without really having a relationship with those energies or any kind of guidance with those energies. But, I just watched it on TikTok. I read about it in a book. I mean, anytime you open up to any kind of mystical path, like you're always going to learn your lessons, the real lessons experientially. And it's nice to have a guide. It's nice to have a teacher because they can help you sort of avoid pitfalls that they had to learn the hard way, Somebody here might be going through a lesson like that. But it's also one of those things that if you are going through like some kind of mystic initiation and you did get like your fingers burned or something, just from a lack of understanding, in some cases, not always, okay, but where there is just like a lack of understanding what one was really doing, there's no like free pass. Like that's part of the initiation. You got to figure out how to undo that. There's something about retracing steps here. It's pretty powerful. But I see that there's something that can be preserved, protected here, all right? There's some blessing that wants to come in. Ace of Pentacles, right? Something that will grow. I did see that energy, kind of like the looping around. So I feel like it might take a full cycle though. Solar and lunar cycles are really significant. This makes me think of spring. It makes me think of when we had the Aries eclipse, solar eclipse. It loops back to that. So it won't loop back around until eclipse season has come to a completion. There's a cycle here. All right. That'll make sense to you. Whether this is something that was targeted at you and you unwittingly entered into energetic agreement with it, took it on, or whether this is something that you're learning, because you're on that path. I have to bring it in. It's a really interesting message, but it is coming through pretty strongly. I know it'll relate to somebody. Somebody will be like, that's it. All right. Let me see. Is there anything else here I feel like bringing in for you? I feel like you're going to get some particular knot untied, but it can't really go much beyond that because it is some kind of initiation. I'm going to get you a Halloween oracle. Ooh, yep. Got apple here. Risk and reward. All right. The blood. See, again, there's something about ancestral lineages. It's coming in. And you don't get more like rootsy than dealing with blood, the blood song. There's something there. And there is protection coming in. And there's wisdom in pausing, That's come through your read pretty frequently. There's this piece about resting, resting, restoring, not being in active phase, but allowing something to be preserved, protected within you. It feels like it's like a seed that will germinate and will provide growth. It's just not ready to break ground. It's not ready to break through the ground of your being because there's something about the energetic pathway that needs to be cleared. That's what I got. That's how it's coming through, man. I know it's a little bit more ethereal, but it's Pisces. Pisces does go into that Neptunian terrain, right? And there's a way that you can work with that energy, and it doesn't have to be glamour. It doesn't have to be illusory. It's just, a different kind of swimming, right? A different kind of swimming in the consciousness. It means you have to be able to go up into those more etheric layers while still keeping your grounding, It doesn't have to be just, about that piece. Oh, maybe that's what it is. There's a need to kind of get a little bit more grounding. That's why with the heart center, maybe the emotions have been really sort of kind of hard to grasp, hard to sort through. The emotional material may need to be grounded out a little bit more, get a little bit more rooting, a little bit more grounding, get more root veggies in, get some roots in. That'll help. Work with the roots too, Work with the roots with the water. That brings the earth and the water together. Interesting. You can even make some kind of internally energetic pathway cleansing tea, You could bring in some shatavari. You could bring in some ginger. You could bring in some angelica, Bring in a little sweetness with it too, a little raw honey. Chamomile. I like chamomile. Chamomile is it's very airy, but it's also really it's also earthy at the same time. Yeah, mischief and play here. I think, this might help. Try it out, okay? There's something about working with this energy that can be helpful for you. Connecting with those roots and maybe bringing it in with the water in that way, taking it in. There's a need to release control. Isn't it interesting? This is the issue. There's some knot here. There's some kind of deception that you need to cut through here. Wise scene, wise action. That's what will preserve the abundance here, the blessing here. Jupiter energy, owl medicine, Sagittarian energy, okay? Opposite side of Gemini, Gemini's descendant sign. You could be dealing with a Gemini rising, but there is a big key here. And there's some control that needs to be released. It's essential. Right behind that is the sacredness of pausing. Okay, let me see what we got here on this other side. And once you release that control, what comes in, it's through the ending, comes the illumination. Look, there's that light bulb moment and infinite possibilities. So there's something here that is related to that knot that needs to be set free. I heard set free. Okay. That's what I got, Pisces. There's something there that's a major key that can turn something around and, root a different kind of vision. I feel like I need something else here. Okay, got one occult tarot card here, and then we'll call it good. It's coming in for a reason, It's got like those priestessy vibes, so let's bring it in. Let's see what we get here. What's on the bottom of the deck? There's the Taurus energy again. You're the ox too. Too much stubbornness, too much fixedness in this situation. There's something to learn here too with the Page of Pentacles. Okay. Again, it's talking about, getting to understand, working with different stones, different herbs, this is good for you, gives you good familiars, right? There's something here about relying on those allies to help you with this too. It's really interesting. You're being guided through a particular pathway of study, and it's through something that was done. It's some kind of knot that you need to figure out how to untie that will give you the keys to the kingdom. And then I feel like it's like a pathway to manifesting some kind of fulfillment for you and getting your timeline back on the right track. That's how it's coming in. That's how it's coming in. That's the story. And we're sticking to it, man. Okay. Yep. 5 of Swords. Builds high towers, castles, and cities. Afflicts men for many days with wounds full of rot and maggots. This is coup energy. And it's also something that's festered way too long. There could be a Leo connected to it. There could be a Sagittarius connected to it. There could be somebody born in the year of the horse connected to it. There could be horsetail hair connected to it. That's interesting. Horsetail hair also makes me think of Oya. Oya is all about bringing the storms of change. Let me tell you, change is going to come one way or another. 5 of Swords. 5 of Swords. That's a very calculated, sneaky, crafty kind of energy here. Right? And get some more details here. I'm telling you, working with the roots in that way internally will really help. Whatever this is, it'll support you. There's something about you need to get to know those roots. It's important. Like actual roots. Taking them internally, as a form of like medicine. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. 10 of Cups, man. Look at that. All right. Yep. It says, creates love between man and woman, creates thunder and great storms, gives answers on divine secrets. So I feel like there's somebody here who wants to block out a sun. It's got those vibes of here comes Apophis. Here comes Apophis to steal the sun and block the road, all right? But there's a way for you to get through this. You can turn that tower around. Get on those roots, man. There's something about this.